Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. One.
Man down. And Sheffield.
Come on, Kell.
I'm the champion.
Don't make it bad, Kell.
Man down and Sheffield.
He was fighting me.
Don't care about that.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
You don't see it.
Don't get on it, Jay.
Lose their weight.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Lose their weight.
Over there, just stay in
Just
there.
make weight. That's all you gotta do is make weight.
Keep it at top. You can keep it at
Just
top.
make weight.
You can keep it at top.
Just make weight.
Brownie man.
Yeah.
Make weight.
It's never not
You don't take vitamins. You don't want steroids, man. Just make weight. That's all you gotta do is make weight.
Man down. I don't see nothing there.
Let's see.
I don't see nothing there.
Just make
I
weight.
don't see nothing there.
Just make weight.
Lose their weight, boy.
Don't worry about losing weight. I've never not made weight, have I? I always made weight.
Make weight.
Watch what happens. Good.
You fighting somebody your size now, huh?
Slow Triple G hit you.
Fighting somebody your size now.
Somebody smaller.
You ain't smart. You're not fighting a 5'7" Sean Porter.
I'm not big guy.
You're not fighting a 5'7" Sean Porter.
Yo, I'm not very southpaw.
You're not fighting a little Kevin Busy ass.
Slow feet, slow hands.
Short dude, 50-year-old.
It don't matter. He went 12 with Keith Thurman, didn't he?
So what? Keith Thurman's not me, is
This
that?
well Keith Thurman up, didn't he?
Keith Thurman's not me.
I got him out of there easy. Chris Algieri got him out of there easy. We gonna see. But stay in the middle of the ring then. Don't run. Don't run. Stay in the middle of the ring. I'm gonna hold you to it too. Stay in the middle of the ring. I'm gonna hold you to it too. We gonna see.
Those ribs, the jaw. Oh, man.
Don't run. Stay in the middle of the ring. Don't run. We gonna see.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And in the words of Martin Lawrence, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, BROOKSPENCE just had their inaugural press conference. They did the face-off. So Errol Spence flew over to the UK for this, and it was officially announced. May 27th is the date. There was some conflict. We didn't know if it was going to be, initially it was May 20th. We didn't know if it was going to be in June based on the soccer schedule out there. But that's the date for Sheffield, May 27th. I told you guys I'd give you that clarification. And you guys heard the sound bites earlier. You know, Boxing Ego, we worldwide. So the footage is coming from the UK, and you'll be able to see everything, like see the press conference and stuff. I got the footage being sent over from the UK, but that was the sound bite. And from the sounds of it, things got tense. Like, you know what I mean? I actually seen the face-off too, but things got tense between the two. And I love this. This is, first of all, it's already a good fight, so props to Kell Brook for actually staying in the division and defending. There was a lot of controversy. In my opinion, I think Kell Brook was kind of pushed in this direction after failed attempts to make bigger money fights that would have probably been easier fights for him. I mean, you could say Manny Pacquiao could be a difficult fight, but Pacquiao's almost 40, right? And he's tiny he would be tiny next to a Kell Brook. And Amir Khan is coming off a brutal knockout to Canelo Alvarez, and he's coming off of surgery. So, I mean, I don't want to see that straight away. Brook and Khan had years to make that fight. So if it wasn't a big priority then, why should it be one now coming off of a knockout? So I think Khan just needs to get back on his feet and probably take a tune-up coming off injury, long layoff, and gaining some weight. So this is the fight to be had. Again, welterweight. Kell Brook is undefeated there, and Errol Spence is an undefeated welterweight. Kell Brook did lose his last fight. I was at middleweight to Gennady Golovkin, and the only person to go the distance with Golovkin in 23 fights before Jacobs broke that streak was Jacobs was the only person to go, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And Kell Brook did well in spots, but ultimately he was stopped in the corner, threw in the towel as his eye was taking too much punishment and he was too many unanswered hits or whatnot. But at welterweight, this is a different fight. Again, props to Kell Brook for making welterweight for this fight. I mean, he's kind of stretched, in my opinion, on options. And if he went to 154, then it would have left a bad taste in the mouths of boxing fans. So he had to kind of take care of this business before he moved forth. Otherwise, it would have been a clear duck. Now, Errol Spence. Shout out to my dude Spence Jr. He's been saying man down. He's been getting praise from the likes of Floyd Mayweather. Easy, you easy ass boy. You some easy ass boy. Right? And Freddie Roach, guys like that. But he has yet to prove himself on the grand stage against an elite name who's considered to have some momentum and very skillful, things like that. He's had good barometer fights like Chris Algieri and Leonard Bundu, where he was able to defeat those guys better than the other big names that had previously fought them, the Pacquiaos, Khan, Ruslan Provodnikov, and Keith Thurman, stuff like that. But he never got one of those guys fresh, you know what I mean? Like the first to beat Chris Algieri or the first to beat Leonard Bundu or beat him before Thurman, things like that. So this would undoubtedly be his biggest test on paper, and it'll be a fight that can catapult him to the next level, because not only would it be a great win, he'd be a champion if he beats Kell Brook. He'd be the IBF champion. So all the other fights, Keith Thurman just beat Danny Garcia and collected Garcia's WBC belt. So fights like that Floyd Mayweather pushed for a while ago, Floyd said everyone's ducking Errol Spence Jr., those would be harder to evade because they would be unifications at that point. Before, it's easy to dismiss Errol Spence Jr. and say, oh, who's he fought? He needs to do more work. But once he's a champion, I mean, he's a fellow alumni, if you will, and then that makes it open season for some other good fights like Keith Thurman. That's the one I want to see. I mean, Pacquiao even has a belt. In my opinion, Pacquiao and Freddie Roach, based on the praise that Freddie Roach has given Errol Spence Jr., and also based on the fact of Pacquiao's recent patterns, or just really patterns since he emerged, I don't think they would ever take that fight. You know what I mean? When's the last time we seen Pacquiao in with the young, hungry lion? But that's thinking ahead, and of course Errol Spence has a tall order in front of him, and he has to get past Kell Brook, which Kell Brook is very skilled. That's not an easy fight for anybody. Kell Brook, he showed championship grit, and I mean, even in the Golovkin fight, the dude jumped up 2 weight classes and got stopped, but didn't get stopped. I mean, he got stopped based on his corner threw in the towel, but he was still upright. He was still on his feet and never touched the canvas. Right? And we all know he clearly had an eye. I mean, I seen it early, like round 2 or something. He was pawing at his eye with his glove. Obviously, something was bothering him. So, I mean, these are visible. These aren't like phantom injuries like Pacquiao had versus Mayweather, where he's still throwing all of his punches hard, and then after he's like, oh, you could see the remnants or the effects of the eye injury in the fight, because he was clearly fidgeting with his eye. I mean, clearly something was wrong, similar to when Rigondeaux was in the 12th round with Donaire, and Donaire keeps pawing at his eye, and then he just holds up one glove over his eye, like, you know, the cartoons when they have the big ass hunk of steak after they get in a fight and they're trying to keep the swelling down. That's what Donaire was doing versus Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux is a beast. But we clearly seen that with Kell Brook, so it's not like some kind of injury to save face or something that was thought about after. I mean, we clearly seen, I mean, you can even look at his eye and see something look off after the fight and stuff like that. So this is ultimately a good fight, man. And I like the trash talk. That's, I mean, that good old WWE, good old face-off. And the funny thing is, we don't really see that side. I never really seen Errol Spence Jr. too angry. Now, we covered, Boxing Ego covered the Errol Spence Chris Algieri fight, and there was a small incident at the weigh-in where Chris Algieri he was like flexing and put his arms in front of Errol Spence, and Errol Spence kind of like pushed his arm down, and then Algieri lifted his arm up, and then Spence put his arm back down, little stuff like that. But I never seen him this kind of aggravated. But I couldn't really hear what Kell Brook was basically. I couldn't really hear all of the stuff he was saying because his voice was a little bit lighter or whatever. But Errol Spence, I heard what he was saying. He was just like, man down, man down. And he's like, yeah, you ain't in there. I could tell he's been around Big Bro Floyd, because his trash talking with his seam, it reminded me of something Floyd would say. Because when Floyd was fighting Robert Grell, he's like, yeah, this the real one. You fuck with the real one. this ain't Berto. I ain't Berto. And Errol Spence kind of had that same kind of flavor. He was just like, yeah, nah, this ain't no 5'7". I ain't no 5'7" Sean Porter. I ain't no 5'7" Sean Porter. This ain't Bezier. I ain't no Kevin Bezier. Like, you messing with a real welterweight. You messing with someone your size. You messing with someone your size. He kept saying that. So, man, I'm looking forward to this fight. What else were they saying? He says, oh, I don't care, you beat Bundu or something like that. And he said, yeah, I got him out there easy. I got Chris Algieri out there easier than Keith Thurman. And he's like, I'm not Keith Thurman. So, yeah, the two are going back at it. I like the confidence from both. And really, I'm just looking forward to seeing a good fight. This is a scrap. It's a scrap, people. I'm looking forward to it, man. And the fact that they were just... That tension, that trash talking lets me know they both real and both focused on their training camp or can't wait to get in the full training camp and stuff because they both sound serious about what they were saying. Again, I couldn't hear everything Kell Brook, but you could still read body language and tell by demeanor. He was talking shit like, yeah, like I'm gonna son you. That's basically the notion that I got. So I'm looking forward to this fight. The official footage will be coming soon. Let me know who you're picking. And there's a lot of radical fans. People, oh, you guys aren't giving Kell Brook any chance. Like, if you listen to all my videos, I said I was picking Errol Spence to win, but I never said it was an easy fight. I always said it's a difficult fight, but it's like Highlander. There can be only one. You have to pick somebody if you're going to do a fight prediction. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with taking credit away from Kell Brook. I personally believe Errol Spence is going to win. As simple as that. And I have reasons for doing that. You know what I mean? I personally, from fight game, style versus style, I see things in those styles where I think Errol Spence is going to win. Point and blank, period. Yes, he's never fought anyone as good as Kell Brook, but at the end of the day, even Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao's of the world, people who went on to do legendary things, at one time they were just a contender. You know what I mean? At one time they were just, people thought Floyd Mayweather couldn't beat Diego Corrales. They were like, he's about to get murdered. He'll get destroyed. So you have to have your coming out party at some time. Pause. So that's my prediction. That's who I think will win. But again, I think you might have to walk through flames to get it. You know what I mean? He's in someone else's backyard, and that's the other thing. The other danger is this, and I'm not trying to play politics, but it's a reality that you have to deal with fighting over in the UK. That's why some fighters don't even do it. Some fighters don't even go over in the UK because the impartial commentary sometimes and the refereeing and judging and stuff. I thought Andre Durrell beat Carl Froch, but they gave it to Froch. You know what I mean? That's what you have to deal with if it's a close fight. Like Golovkin-Jacobs. That was a very close fight, but you know they're going to side with the hometown. And not that Golovkin is from New York, but he's the home fighter. It was on the HBO network, and he's the bigger star, and he's the guy that HBO is pushing, and he's the fight that people want to see versus Canelo, right? So, yeah, if in a close fight, they're going to give those swing rounds to the person that they like. You know what I mean? And that can be the same case depending on who they have for judges and stuff. And when you go to when you fight on the enemy territory, like Amir Khan. A lot of people thought Amir Khan beat Lamont Peterson, but he was in Peterson's backyard, so he got deducted 2 points. Like 2? Really? You had to so it's not just the UK, it's all over. Juan Diaz versus Paulie Malignaggi in Texas. They robbed him. You know what I mean? So if you're in someone else's territory, you don't know how the judging is going to be. Canelo, Trout, that open scoring bullshit. Canelo was he was the you know what I mean? He's the high Hispanic population in Texas. He was the favorite fighter, and the open scoring, they revealed halfway through that Trout needed to knock out the win, basically. And the fight up to that point was super close. So Errol Spence has to be prepared for that. Obviously, if he gets a stoppage, none of that matters. But if it goes to the cards, he has to have put up a strong enough performance where they can't try to job him. Let me know what you guys think. I'm excited. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.